Evening. Hope you guys are doing well. So continuing on our journey, today we would be learning about polyfills, what polyfills are, and why do we need it, right? Let's have empty and so the word poly is basically it has two things, right? You have poly, basically meaning something that is many, right? And then you have fills. So basically, poly is basically fillers, right? Now, why do we need fillers, right? For example, a polyglot, right? So polyglot is a person who can speak. Poly is many, and glot stands for language. So a person who speaks many languages is called as a polyglot. Now, why do we need polyfills, right? Now, certain functions are not supported by browser, right? For that to work in all browsers, for example, certain methods, right? Remember, the browser also has a V8 engine, right? But then when we are using Node, right, what Node brings in is Node also has the same V8 engine, plus it has some additional functionalities, right? So this together makes our Node.js, right? So that is the biggest advance, right? So Node.js also has V8 plus some additional functionalities, hence we are able to understand those functions more easily, right? But then whenever you are coming across say some behavior, right, now how to check is basically whether that browser supports is now, even though the browser support or might not support, still those methods are widely used, right? So if you go to md and docs, right, and if you search here for js, right, so now for example if I say array.map, so let's see, if I go to or uh, yeah, so if I go to array.prototype.filter, so now it indicates that this is widely used, right? It's available in all the three browsers. What if I'm using some other browser? Then what I need to do is I need to have a, uh, for example, again again this. So this feature is well established and works well across many devices. Now it's been available. So if that feature is not supported by the browser, right? So then we need to use some sort of fill, right? So now this is again with so since July 23 it is available across. For example, if I go to object certain methods, right, for example apply, so again this is widely used, right? For example prototype, now this is something now this is a non-standard, right? So you can see like whether that function is available or not. So just to um have it available in all across, what we do is we kind of write this polyfill, right? So this is something where we are mentioning that polyfill, right? So we are going to add. So why are we doing these things? Remember, uh, so JS is okay. I need to add maybe where is the option to add? Oh, let's let's close. So the whole point arises, then where should we mention this polyfill, right? Or like how to write a polyfill. So the way we are going to mention a polyfill is, remember, if you see JS, right? So this is an OOP, but it is not fully class based OOP, right? It's prototype based inheritance, right? At the top you have that prototyping child, right, from which you are going to inherit. So it makes much sense that you add that behavior in the prototype, right? So for example you add it in the uh, you add that in the prototype, right? So that whenever you are using Now this behavior property, writing it in the prototypical chain, is what we say as writing a polyfill. Right now there are many ways you can um, write. So basically we will be other one of the way we would be writing polyfill. So I mean the way to write a polyfill is basically to have it being placed inside the array.prototype, right? No, so yeah, let's do some examples, right? Okay, so our yeah, let's have this. So basically our goal here is to um make a so basically now we need to make a method in the prototype, right? So basically we are going to add a method in the prototype, and then so this is going to return some dot. So this is going to return something, right? Now remember, to add any method in a prototype you need to first access the prototypical chain, right? So first we need to do is we need to add it into our uh, in the chain, right? So the way that we are going to do is uh, now see now, and what are we going to pass? We are going to pass a so this is the function, this is an object we are going to pass. So we are going to add this uh, in the object prototype itself. Define. Okay, so basically here is you need to implement that is that return. So this is going to return something. Okay, so the return is this. Now we haven't added it to the chain. With that we will do it. Now how to add it to the chain? So we need to add it to the animal prototype itself, right? So we are going to do animal dot prototype, and then uh, what's the function name? So that's this is going to give me some issue, I guess. No, we haven't added it to the chain, right? Oh, so yeah. So here is what we need to create a constructor that takes a name parameter, add a method, make sound to its prototype. So the make sound is going to get added to this prototype. Oh, we need to add a function make sound, and then this is going to be I add in a function here. This is always going to return. So we have added it in the prototypical chain. Uh, so constructor is going to be this, right? Whereas you do the initialization. So I do just the I guess yeah. So this is my constructor. Let's try running this. So implement a construction factor that initializes the name. So this is the construction animal. Oh, that is going to initialize it, and then we have attached. So this is the to the animal. Now when so for example, we need to attach, uh, say we say attach it to the uh, animal. So if we are saying attach a method makes on to its prototype, to the prototype of animal, right? So to add, wait, let's say this is adding to so if I say if I want to add to, so the way I'm going to do is first is going to be uh, animal dot. Now here is one I'm going to add the function, right? So this is how it's going to. Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's solve few examples. Now, okay, so I attach a method to the prototype that increases the battery level by 20. So first is so in the prototypical chain, I'm going to attach a method so called as uh, method charge. So the name is charge, and you're going to say this is function. And then what it is going to do is it is going to increase the battery level by 20, ensuring it does not go above 100. The robot should have a method charge. So if uh, so it is this chain, right? This not, so this is going to be uh, initializing the name, and then go this dot. This is going to refer to the current instance, and to that instance, I have to do uh, so it has to be linked to the object, right? So I guess this has to be this dot battery level. If it should not go above 100, so if it's less than 100, then this is. No, I'm not sure whether this is the correct way. Oh, this has to be name. So we need to refer to the. And there is one thing about prototypical chain, right? So there is one specular thing. So in JS, we consider functions as first class citizens, right? So these are functions, right? So they are stored, they are first class. So they are also stored as objects, right, inside heap. Now, so what we can do is, so what if this function is named, say, So the name of this function is animal, right? And so if I create this using a animal function, this is going to refer to the animal block, right? Oh yeah, I know what is going to happen here. And this is animal. And what if I pass in here so inside this I'm going to pass say 20, right? So this is a function called with animal 20, right? Now what if I'm making another function called, so I have and here I'm passing 30, right? And then this has to be a now if you see both function names are same, right? So inside the function there should be some mechanism by which we should be able to understand which or what value should my 20 be right now, like which value should my name be initialized, right? There is going to be a conflict, right? So the way to avoid that is using this, right? So this is going to indicate which current object am I uh, referring to, right? Now if because the prototype chain will be attached to both, so if I'm trying to utilize, remember both of these functions, if you think that way, so these are going to go to the same prototype, right? So if I just keep it this way, then what is going to happen is an override is going to happen here. I mean, I won't be able to justify which should be my current value. This is just going to do an override, right? So this should not happen, right? We should be able to refer to the current instance of the object. So for this we use the this keyword, right? There is yeah, I've checked that, so that is okay. Because that is going to refer. Oh, that method got deleted. Oh, I have done some. Uh, I haven't placed it at the proper location, is what. Yeah, it should be here. This is going to be. And then now when I come to the prototype, right? Yeah, so now if I save, alright, I'm referring to this, right? And then if this is this should be the correct version, I feel. Yeah, this should be correct, right? Now this, because this is going to be, yes. So what if I don't, uh, what if I don't, there is an overriding thing is going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to refer to that specific instance, right? Calling. That's why we need that thing. You can do one more thing there. Although that shouldn't make a big difference. This shouldn't be. This kind of behaves it is dependent on the function is called, right? Oh, so then we are going to relate it to that instance. So that method is going to relate to that instance, because in prototype we won't be able to distinguish which is which, right? There will be a conflict error. So here it won't override as such. This will give us an error. So now it will try to find a variable in battery level in the outer global scope. So he's saying now we will be able to find this. We'll search this in the global scope. But we don't want that to happen, right? We want to refer to that specific instance being called. So increase. Yeah, so this is just going to initialize the count, right? This is going to say which instance I'm bound. And then I'm going to add that counter dot So I need to add two methods, right? Increment and then again dot decrement. Action. This is going to do this dot count -1. Well, now remember, so if couldn't find name count because these are instance thing, right? So we need to be specific about which instance are we saying. Okay, this has to be so this is count is initialized to 0. Why is the invalidation? Basically we are oh, this has come 2 times. Alright, this count has become 2 times. That should go on. So if I run this now, okay. So I have to initialize the array, right? Let's say this is, let's make it an empty array. And then when I'm going to add a, okay, there is something. This construction, okay, playlist dot prototype dot add song. Now implement a construction function that initializes the array. Add a method song. Now this is going to take in something. This is, I guess, a local variable. And then so this dot, and I should add it in the array, right? So just add in the song. Does it make sense? Throw I guess, yeah, now. Oh, the array name is songs. Let us do this song. Yeah, runtime error because of array, I guess. Empty songs array. And this is song. That is an instance, right? So the way. Oh, this dot array. Let's do songs. That doesn't exist anymore, right? Yeah, I'm just. So by default, it is going to be add song and then a parameter, something like that. I need to create a shopping cart. So I have an so here I'm going to have an items array using. So this dot items is okay. Now add item method on shopping cart. So if I do shopping cart dot prototype dot, and then in that what I'm going to add first is add item, attach add item price. So basically, also I need, yeah, so I can do, wait, add item. So this is add, this is a function. It takes in a parameter price, and then so I can do this dot, I can spread that array, right? Just spread price. So now, yeah, now I need to do shopping cart prototype get total. This is going to be function. This is going to be for max this dot. What is the array name? Oh, remember this has to be this dot items. Just make this dot items. Even this has to be this dot items dot uh length. Now attach total price. I have to return or something. Total price is equal to this dot items. Uh, this be is it returning something? This is for that instance itself, right? And then is there something to return or something? I guess he's expecting 60, right? I'm thinking of returning. Let's do a return or say uh, mm, let's not. Oh, yeah, it's an array, right? So let's do directly push price. Yeah, price is not a travel. So create a bank account constructor that initializes a balance property. So this is a balance property that is this dot balance is equal to 0 initially. A transaction array to log all deposit and withdrawal activities. So this has to be this dot transactions. This is equal to say array. Now income and the balance were given amount add a transaction log where deposited X. Oh, this is like a full like calculator type thing. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, so the only caveat here is because these prototype methods are, so if I say I am implementing array dot prototype some method, right? So the whole thing, what is going to happen is, so whatever array I create, say I don't know, so this is array 1. It should be not, yeah, it has to go in one this. And then so now what is this? This is array 1. Say this is, say, array named G1. This is array named Praveen. This is array named Preeti, or this is named Henry, right? So all of these arrays are going to have that same method. So the only thing is, make sure that you're using this to identify, right? So this is going to identify which array method I'm calling, like which object I'm linking. Is it the G1, or is it the Praveen? Is it this, or is it Andre? So only thing is, we need to make sure that we are linking the correct object using this keyword. Else we will get an error, right? We won't be able to link it properly. This is all for, this is polyfills, right? This is, so what if that method is not, so polyfill is basically supplementing. So if you say for that specific object, say if that method does not exist, right, in, or it is not support when you go on MD and docs, this you're just going to add it to the prototype. But inside the method, make sure you're using good use of this, right? Because we are going to we need to refer which instance of the area we're calling out. So that is the whole uh, issue with that. Because the way the thing with this is that this is going to get linked to the functions, the way the functions are called. So this is some, so this is, so the behavior of this is in function is, it is linked on how we call, right? I mean, the call is going to determine this behavior in functions, right? And try not to using arrow function is also a good, but then it's going to do some little bit complexity over there. Yeah, it is going to define on how the function is getting called, right? Yeah, that is something. So if you don't mention that call, by default it's that global thing, right? Now arrow functions, it's something they don't bind this, so we need to specifically do something. They are called lazy loaders, right? Lazy freeloaders. They don't do this binding. You need to do something specific with respect to that. Okay, so I guess, yeah, this is a good discussion on polyfills. We saw, so basically the use of this is more relevant when we are using polyfills, right? Because there is when you are going to make more and more use of that. So yeah, I guess that is all for this session. I hope you guys liked it. I will see you guys in another one. Till that time, take care. Bye bye.